M-theory is possibly a theory to understand everything. But before knowing what M-theory is about, we need to understand two main concepts. Quantum mechanics, which studies the really small things like protons and neutrons, and general relativity, which studies huge things like galaxies. General relativity describes how planets and stars lay in a fabric called the gravitational field. This explains why the Earth is attracted to the Sun in an orbit. And quantum mechanics describes how little particles called quarks create matter and generate forces. In general relativity, we see the gravitational field as a smooth and gradual fabric of spacetime, with no fluctuations. But in quantum mechanics, we see otherwise. Quantum mechanics says that in empty space, there are these tiny particles that appear out of nowhere and briefly fight and kill each other. This creates tiny explosions at different places, making space randomly jitter up and down. So M-theory finds a solution to this problem. M-theory says that gravity has its own type of particles, called gravitons. By giving gravity its own type of particles, we'll let quantum mechanics work with gravitons and general relativity with a gravitational field. To do so, we need to introduce new elementary ingredients of the universe, smaller than any subatomic particles, called strings, which are one-dimensional, and branes, which have two or more dimensions. These strings and branes work most likely the same, so from now on we'll refer to both as strings. Every particle in the universe is made of these vibrating strings. Depending on the type of vibration made by the strings, we can have different particles. Imagine that a string is like a guitar string, but instead of creating different musical notes, depending on the vibration, it creates different particles with unique properties. Einstein's equation E equals mc squared says that mass and energy are interchangeable, so if a string vibrates, it will release energy that can be seen as mass. But in order to get this wide variety of particles, we need more than 3 spatial dimensions. If we have more than 3 dimensions, 10 to be precise, we can have more types of branes, and therefore, the same amount of energy in a one-dimensional string would work differently on other branes. This would allow more types of vibrations and more types of particles. It is like a flute. If you blow on it with just one hole uncovered, it will create a note. If you blow again, with 2 holes uncovered, it will create a different note. M-theory says that the weaker the particle, the smaller the string. Because gravity is so weak that even a magnet can defeat it, the strings that create gravitons should be really small. If a string or brane vibrates with more energy that is capable to resist, its length will increase. So if we put enough energy into a brane, like that of the Big Bang, we can create a universe. So why we don't see other dimensions? There are 2 types of strings, closed string and open string. An open string is free to move inside another brane, but it cannot escape from it, making itself stuck in certain dimensions. But more importantly, the stuck string inside another brane may determine the brane's properties. A particle that is made of closed strings is a graviton, which means it is the only particle not trapped in our 3-dimensional universe. And if we one day detect a flaw in gravity, we can detect other dimensions.